Good morning. I literally just crawled out of bed. I'm about to make my coffee, take the dogs outside, and then we will get this day started. Let's go. Alrighty. So, the dogs have been walked, and now it is time for lunch. This is Kai. She is the dog that I've had the longest. I don't exactly know what breed she is. Maybe I always say golden retriever, Sheltie, something like that. She is 11 years old, and I think she looks great for her age. I have had her longer than I have been married, so she's kind of just been with me from the very beginning. We are the only two girls in the house, so we have to stick together. And yeah, she's kind of she's my girl. Yeah. And she's darn cute too. So it's November, which means, and it's late November, which means that, what are we having for lunch? The same thing that we have every late November. Turkey! And I will be having turkey for lunch tomorrow, lunch the next day, and the next day, probably for dinner. Which is sometimes not very fun because sometimes turkey really sucks and you cook it to the point that it's essentially like eating chalk. But this year, I have made some bad turkeys. I'll admit, there's some where you're just like, yeah, pass the gravy. But this year, I might have been my best Thanksgiving turkey yet. Because I like manipulated the temperatures as it was cooking. I cooked it uncovered and then covered, and I also used Kinder's, I think, buttery steak on my turkey, which you would think, like, what? That's a good thing to use on your turkey. If you've never had a Kinder's seasoning, get their buttery, I think it's called buttery steak. I would show you, but I used it all. It's yellow and it's delicious. And if you need something to put on your turkey, that's a good one. It was really good because since I seasoned it first, cooked it uncovered, it kind of like cooked into the skin. It got all crispy and delicious, and then covered it up and it soaked into the meat. Oh. With that said, this year I am not upset to be eating tons of turkey. So turkey will be my lunch for now. I'm not really starving to death, so kind of just a little bit of turkey. And then most likely I will have a little bit of peanut butter as my sweet treat once I'm done with my turkey. And that'll be it. Then it'll be gym time, and then it'll be dinner time, and then it'll be dog walk time. That's basically what my day looks like every single day. You will learn very quickly that I thoroughly enjoy a schedule and a plan, and sticking to that plan and sticking to that schedule just helps me get things done. So, answer this question. What do you eat on your Thanksgiving? Is it a turkey only sort of thing? Do you do turkey and ham? Or do you just go crazy, in my opinion, and eat ham for Thanksgiving? In my opinion, turkey is Thanksgiving. Ham is Christmas. And I'm not even gonna lie and try to make it seem like I get some carnivore only sort of ham. If I can find me a good deal on a honey baked ham, oh my gosh, I'm getting it. Because a good honey baked ham, oh my goodness, it's so good. I only get that around Christmas, but oh, I just love it. And I know it has sugar, and I know me and sugar, we don't get along very well, but for Christmas, we work it out. We work it out. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, I was keto before this, like just keto, not even trying to be carnivore. Well, now I'm moving more towards carnivore, which naturally just results over time in you trying more types of meat. Like I talked about the other day where I tried Spam. It's actually pretty good. Well, before, I kind of thought eating a turkey leg was weird, kind of gross, mildly barbaric. If you're not eating the turkey legs of your turkey, and if you're not eating them like a chicken leg, you're missing out. Because this is so good. Okay, so yes, I am sitting on the floor. And yes, that is a tortoise tank that is currently being used as a storage bin. We recently moved out of a 1,900 square foot house and into a 700 square foot apartment, which was supposed to be a temporary 4-month thing. We were going to stay in an apartment for a little bit, and then as we, purchased our house, that was the plan. Well, as we were looking for houses, it just kind of came about that building a brand new house would be about the same price as buying an older house. So we decided to build one. We got into the process, and turns out it's going to take a year. It's going to take a whole year. So we're in this apartment for quite some time. We didn't put everything into a storage unit because we're trying to save money, and keeping everything in this tiny little apartment is the best way to save, $300 a month, or however much storage unit is. So I thought about hiding the random storage areas in this apartment that we have, but I want this channel to be pretty cut and dry, pretty honest, pretty not fake like you see on a lot of social media. So if I'm trying to make this channel an honest channel, then hiding not so attractive parts of this apartment is not really a good place to start. So that is why you will see some kind of not beautiful areas of storage that we have here, and I'm just not trying to hide it because I'm not trying to hide things on this channel. So what we're doing on the floor right now is, if you've ever had a white dog with short hair, you will know that they have skin issues. He has weird paws, so like the skin on his paws gets really gross and dirty and gunky and stinky and just weird. So I always try to keep his paws clean, or else he just gets weird skin issues on his paws. So that's what we're doing right now. And I figured while I do this, I would talk to you about seizures, because that's the main reason I'm doing this channel. So, as you already know, I have them. That's not a surprise. But what kind do I have? I have the grand mal seizures. So like the big ones. The ones where which I don't remember any of this when it happens, but you lose consciousness first. And then you move into the seizing part, which obviously is not fun, and that's usually where you get pretty banged up. Typically, it lasts from 30 seconds to a minute. If it's a really bad one, it might last a little bit longer than that, but that's usually around how long it lasts. Afterwards, though, I am pretty out of it. I don't remember a lot afterwards, and by I don't remember a lot, it's like I don't remember his name. I don't remember the code to get into the front door. I don't remember the code to open up my phone. Little things like that take a while to come back. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes up to like 5 or 6 hours for me to fully be able to remember little things. Like if I don't look at it, the date, that's always a really hard one to recall. I'm lucky in that he actually kind of likes this stuff. He's pretty good about all of the little things that he needs to have done, which is good because some dogs freak out when you touch their paws, and he's good about it. I think there's a small part of him that actually likes it. But as I was saying, once the convulsions are done, it is hard for me to remember things, and a lot of the time, and this is still something I don't exactly understand why it happens or what causes it, but afterwards, one, I have a headache, which that's pretty understandable. Not all the time, but usually I have a pretty decent headache. But afterwards, the nerves in my skin feel very strange. They feel like, I don't know, it's weird. Because they don't, like when I wash my hands, it feels weird. It doesn't feel like your average every single day washing of your hands. It feels like the nerves in my skin have never touched water before. It just feels weird. When I drink water, it either feels like colder, it feels almost, the only word I can think to describe it is it feels surprising, like my tongue's not used to having water. So that part is strange, and I really don't like it because it lasts for pretty much the whole day, and it makes me feel like I'll never go back to normal. It's like I'll never feel water again that feels normal. And it's really bad when I take a shower because it just feels weird. It's like afterwards all of my nerves are on overdrive. So that part I really don't like. I don't really like any part of it, but that part, it bugs me because it feels like it'll never end. So that's what mine are like. I haven't talked about it yet on the channel just because this is kind of a new thing for me. I don't typically talk to people about seizures just because when you tell people you have seizures, typically they start treating you weird. They start treating you like you are mentally disabled, which technically you are, but it doesn't mean that that's how I want to be treated. There's sometimes, and this has happened often, and it's weird, you'll be in a situation where you have to tell people that you have seizures, and they start talking to you louder. Like you'll tell them, oh yeah, I have seizures. And then the next thing is, oh really? Oh, that's awful. Or they'll start talking slowly. You have seizures. Oh, that's not good. I realize that. So in general, it's just not really something that I publicly disclose because people are morons. And whenever you have a problem with your brain, it changes how they treat you. And I don't know why. I don't have a problem with my ears. You don't need to talk louder and slower. So yeah. All that to say is just bear with me because talking about this stuff is new to me. And yeah, I'm not an expert at it yet. And I don't want to come across as one because I am just your average person who happens to have seizures, and I've had them for a very long time, and I've realized that no one really talks about it. So there's lots of issues that get a lot of attention, and seizures are just not one of them. So I'm trying to change that, but I'm not a professional. So if there's ever anything that you're like, I wish you had talked more about that, just comment. Just say, hey, you know, what about this? What about that? You haven't said a word about this, a word about that, and I'll get to it. I will talk about it. So if there's ever anything that you feel you'd like to talk about, you'd like me to talk about, always just ask and I will get to it. Alrighty, it is gym time. I can't hear anything. I've got the place to myself, which is exactly how I prefer it. It's nighttime outside, so it's just quiet. Like I said, I got the place to myself, which this is where I do all of my thinking, all of my planning, my dreaming. It's where it's like my little happy place where me and my mind are left alone. We can just do whatever we want, which sometimes is not good because I do have a very overactive mind. So when you're trying to start your own business, sometimes your mind uses its free time to freak out and overthink things. That's when I mentioned trying to handle my stress better. That's what I mean. It's mostly trying to handle my mind better, because when my mind starts overacting and running away with thoughts that I can't even do anything about right now, that's when I have to just recenter and take a second, breathe, and then just focus on the workout and take my mind out of the gym, which might sound bad, but sometimes just having a carefree workout where you're not thinking about anything is exactly what you need to do. So after this, it's November, it's dark. I'm on the elliptical now, finishing up. After this, I get to walk home. I will put my headphones back in, and turn on the Christmas music, walk home in the nice, dark apartment complex where you can start to see everyone's Christmas trees lighting up in their windows. And I love it. Okay, gym time is over. Dogs have been fed, which is good because they were very you know how sometimes you can just tell your dogs are more hungry than other nights? Well, tonight was one of those nights where they were just like, feed me now. So they have been fed. They've been taken on a little mini post-gym walk where I cool down and typically they poop. And now we have the George Foreman getting all nice and toasty warm because I'm at that stage of eating turkey where it's time to get creative. If you have never made a grilled cheese, a grilled turkey, if it's November, in your George Foreman, you're missing out. And it works out because we just recently went to Aldi's. The closest Aldi's to where I live is like an hour and a half away. So we go there pretty much whenever I have a craving for their candles. Whenever I get a craving for those candles, we pack up, go on a little road trip. I get their bread when I'm there. The ingredients aren't fabulous, so I don't eat it all the time. It's kind of just a little treat thing that I enjoy. And it just so happens that I have their bread when I have 20 pounds of turkey to eat. So God is good. He gave me bread while we have turkey. He just knew I had a turkey sandwich in my future somewhere. So that is what I will be having tonight. I will use this mayo. This stuff, delicious. If you're going to make one healthy change in your life, I would suggest it, not a doctor, start with getting out all of the bad oils, like canola oil, crappy hydrogenated oils, vegetable oils. They cause a lot of inflammation within your body. So if you're feeling sluggish, it's because you're inflamed. Your heart's not taking it well. Like, your body doesn't like being inflamed. So if you're looking to start slow on a healthy lifestyle, I would start with the oils, because it's a small change that will make a really big difference once you've gotten those oils out of your system. So for this, the ingredients are avocado oil, filtered water, egg yolks, whole oats, organic white vinegar, which makes it taste really good. And then it's water, mustard seed, salt, organic spices, salt, organic rosemary extract. It tastes really, really good. So if you're stuck on your Dukes or your Best Foods or whatever, throw it out. It's crappy. If you can buy an entire jug of something for $5, imagine the quality of ingredients that are going into that, because they're making money by selling an entire gallon of their product for $5. That's not good. Some things, it's too cheap. You don't want that. It's disgusting. Change it up. Then I have the drippings. I know it looks gross, but it's delicious. And I'll dip my sandwich in there. And we are ready to eat. Alrighty, I'm going to eat my sandwich, and then I have a bunch of computer work tonight that I have to get done. And that's pretty much going to be my night. Before I go to bed, I will walk the dogs around. We usually go on like a little 1 mile walk, and then we get all tucked into bed and pass out. So that's the rest of my night. I hope you had a absolutely wonderful day today. I hope you made healthy decisions healthy lifestyle changes. I can't even say it, so obviously I'm not quite there yet myself either. I will see y'all next time. Have a good one. Bye.